This tutorial by the University Library will review how to receive loans such as books and media borrowed for A&M San Antonio patrons in ILLiad and prepare them for checkout. From the main menu in ILLiad, click on the Borrowing tab. Next, click on the Check-in from Lending Library button. In the upper left corner, type in the ILL number of the item received. This can be found on the accompanying paperwork sent with the loan. Hit Enter and the rest of the loan information will fill in on the lower half of the screen. Check to make sure the due date in the lower right corner of the screen matches the due date on the paperwork sent from the lending library. If it does not, you can edit the due date by clicking on it. Check the paperwork sent with the item to see if the lending library allows renewals. If you can't find any indication of that on the paperwork, open the Policies directory by clicking on the System tab at the very top and then selecting Policies Directory. The Policies directory will open in a new window and will by default show our policies. You can search for the lending library in the top left by institution name or symbol. You can often find the lending library symbol on the paperwork sent with the loan. After typing in the institution's name or symbol, hit the green search button at the bottom. Next, you'll see the profile page of the policies for the lending library. Scroll down to the section labeled Periods and look to see what it says in terms of the renew period. If it says none, as in this example, they do not allow renewals, so back on the ILLiad check-in screen, you will need to uncheck the Allow Renewals box. If the school's policy shows a renew time period, for example 2 weeks, be sure to check the Allow Renewals box on the check-in screen in ILLiad. Next, click Check-in at the top. Repeat this process for any incoming loans. Once you're finished, close the Check-in from Lending Library tab, and when you're back at the main menu, hit Refresh. The incoming loans will now be in the Awaiting Post-Receipt Processing queue. We're now ready to print book bands and signature slips. Click on the Borrowing tab at the very top and click on the top half of the Print Receives button. A printer dialog box will appear twice, letting you know that it is sending the signature slips and book bands to our printer. Click the Print button both times. 2 Word documents will open up on your taskbar at the bottom of your desktop. One is the book band that you will print, cut in half, and wrap around the loan. It contains helpful information such as the ILL number, loan title, patron information which has been kept private in this example, due date, and if the item can be renewed. Once you have the document open, go to File in the upper left corner and select Print. Our printers are set to automatically duplex or print on the fronts and the backs of the paper, so if you are printing book bands for more than one item, be sure to select Printer Properties in the resulting print window, and in the box labeled Duplex, select Off. You can then select OK and hit Print. The other document is the signature slip, which we ask our patrons to sign and date when they check out the item from us. You can do the same as before and send this document to the printer, but beware that the signature slips print 3 to a page. In the example shown, the leftmost signature slip is for the item we are processing, but the other 2 slips are blank since we're only checking in 1 book. Again, our printers are set up to duplex, so if you have more than 3 loans that you checked in, be sure to turn off the duplexing. After printing, you can close these 2 templates. You'll be presented with a box that asks you if you want to save the changes to the templates. It is very important that you select Don't Save. You'll cut the book bands in half, keeping the blank half to use to tape around the inside of the loan's front cover and connecting it to the half with the information on it. Take note of the delivery location at the bottom of the book band. This will be important in the next step. If there is any loose paperwork sent by the lending library, you will paperclip that material with the signature slip and place it inside the loan's front cover. Refresh ILLiad and the items will now be in the In Transit to Pickup location queue. If the delivery location at the bottom of the book band says Main, you will click on the lower half of the Contact Customers button, which can be found under the Borrowing tab, and select In Transit Items Received. Type in the transaction number or ILL number on the book band and hit Enter. As you do this for each item, you will see its information appear in the middle of the screen. Click Process Queue when you have entered all of the incoming loans from main campus, and if you go back to the main menu and refresh, the items will be in the Awaiting Customer Contact queue. After about 5 minutes, if you refresh again, the items in Awaiting Customer Contact will go away, indicating that emails have been automatically sent to the patrons, letting them know their materials have arrived. The loans can be shelved alphabetically by the patron's last name on the shelves behind the information desk. If the delivery location on the book band says Brooks, you will package up the item and send it through inter-campus mail to the Brooks City-based librarian's office. Alert the rest of the Public Services staff and the Brooks Library staff about which transaction numbers and which items are being sent over. Until they are received by the Brooks Library staff, these items will remain in the In-Transit to Pickup location queue, and only after they have been received by the library staff at Brooks will the ILL staff at main campus complete the process just described in the previous slide to send out the notification email. This concludes the tutorial detailing how to receive loans borrowed for A&M San Antonio patrons and how to prepare them for checkout in ILLiad. The Public Services staff will be happy to assist you as you learn how to complete this process, and pretty soon you'll have it memorized.